Hey there, this is Simon and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to talk about setting up OpenDNS, which is a free service and millions of people are using it, including business customers. And the end result is it will result in faster internet browsing for you and also safer browsing. So the first part of this video, we're just going to show you how to sign up. It's actually so easy, I'm not even going to show you the steps for signing up. As you can see, I'm on the OpenDNS website. So to sign up, you just go up here in the upper right hand corner. You can see create a free account. You just enter a username, your email, and then you'll have an email sent to your email account as confirmation. And a bit of background here regarding what DNS stands for. DNS stands for Domain Name System. And what this basically means is it's really a phone book for the internet. So when you type in this web address, which is my address for my website, it really translates into machine language into a bunch of digits. So as you can tell, it's much easier for us humans to type in something that's using alphabetical characters as opposed to numeric characters. So that's it. It's pretty basic to sign up for an account. So the next step what we're going to do is show you how to configure OpenDNS on your computer or a router. So now that we have our account set up with OpenDNS, the next step is to configure either your computer or your router for the new DNS settings. Very easy to do. The first thing we'll show you is how to set up your computer. As you can see, I'm using Windows XP. So depending on which computer operating system you're using, it will be a little different. But for XP, what we're going to do is go to Start, go to the Control Panel. Let's go down to Network Connections here. Open that up. And let's open up the local area connection here. So I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to go to Properties. And this is scroll down here and highlight the Internet Protocol, TCP/IP. Go to Properties. And what you want to do is change this from obtain the DNS server address automatically and instead choose use the following DNS server addresses. So just type in the following: 208.67.222.222. And for the alternate DNS server, 208.67. And then click OK. Close that. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. Next, we'll show you how to configure a Linksys router for the same thing. So what we're going to do now is configure the OpenDNS for a Linksys router. Now keep in mind, each router is going to be a little different in how it's configured. Linksys is a popular brand, so we're going to go with that one. So for Linksys, the default address to get to the admin panel to make changes is 192.168.1.1. I've already logged into my Linksys router here. If you haven't, then of course you're going to have to enter your username and password to get to this piece right here. Scroll down on the main page where it says Setup. You can see I'm on the Setup tab here. Just scroll down. And where it says Static DNS, you're going to change that. So we're going to enter 208.67.222.222. On the second one, 208.67.220 and 220. And this save settings. So it's very straightforward. Same as the other routers you're going to be using. As long as you get to the admin panel there, it should be very straightforward to change those DNS settings. So now that you have your computer or your router set up for OpenDNS, you can leave it the way it is without having to configure anything else. Now keep in mind, if you just leave it the way it is, you are going to get some basic safe surfing filtering going on. In addition to, you are going to get the faster surfing automatically. And one thing I didn't mention earlier is why is it that using OpenDNS is actually faster for you? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. First of all, OpenDNS uses their own databases, so when they have to resolve that name to that IP address that I showed you, you're actually using their databases, as opposed to your ISP, which could get you routed across the country to get that name resolved. The other thing as well is that OpenDNS is using their own routing technology, so the routing and redirection of that information is a lot faster. And the last thing, of course, is they're also using caching. So they're caching some of those web pages that people visit frequently. So the end result is that page returned to you should be a lot faster as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to configure OpenDNS for specific filtering and safe surfing techniques for you. So what you need to do is log into OpenDNS using your username and password. And as you can see, I've already logged in. And once you've done that, go to the dashboard and go to networks here, because you're going to have to set up a network before you change any settings. And this is pretty basic stuff. It's going to pick up your IP address. And the only thing you need to do is actually enter a label. So if you're doing this from home, entering home is fine. Click on Add Network. Now you can go to Settings. And on the left-hand side here, there's a bunch of different filtering things you can turn off or configure. For example, the whitelist allows you to create a whitelist of domains that you never want to be blocked. For example, myspace.com. So the only thing you do is actually add each individual domain name there and click on Add to Whitelist. You can actually block categories as well, and this is pretty cool. If there's any categories you want blocked, and I guess pornography or adult websites would be a popular one for people with kids and things like that, or any of these other ones as well. You just click on each one and click on Apply. You may be wondering why this check mark is here beside this phishing label here. And if you're unfamiliar with what phishing means a bogus website or fake website is trying to pretend it's a legitimate website to entice you to probably enter your credit card. For example, PayPal is often mimicked, or eBay and Citibank, those ones like that. So there's websites out there that will try and pretend they're legitimate websites when in fact they're not. So by default, that is turned on, and I would strongly recommend you leave that on. You can block individual domains as well. For example, if you wanted to block playboy.com, you could do that. Down here, there's stats logs, there's network shortcuts. This one's interesting here, typo corrections. For example, by having this enable typo correction, that will automatically tell you that instead of typing google.com with G-O-G-G-L-E, which is obviously incorrect, it will try and correct that for you by stating, well, you probably meant Google, so let's go to Google with G-O-O-G-L-E instead. And also there's enable filtering of the CM wildcard. So let's assume you typed google.com, but you forgot the O, and you just did .cm instead of .com. That will correct that for you as well. And of course, there's also down here the typo corrections, so you can also make exceptions to the typo corrections as well. So there you have it. That's how you actually configure OpenDNS for filtering. Thanks for watching. And I should also mention, if you're interested in more tips or advice or free videos, including ones that are much larger than the one you watch on YouTube, just come to my website, hotbutteredit.com. And there's video tutorials, there's a bunch of tips under home, and soon to be coming is a podcast. My name's Simon, and thanks for watching.